tonight we are gonna make challah bread. It is just a yeast bread. It's actually really simple. You just need to have time to let it rise sufficiently and develop. So challah bread's kind of fun because you can do a lot of different designs with it, different flavors in it. We're just gonna go classic, original. You can do 6 strands, you can do 3 strands, you can do 4 strands. A lot of it's about the designs, the art of it, the decoration. I like the 6 strand, I think it's really pretty. The 3 strand's fine. It's more simple, like just braiding hair. And then the 4 strand is how you get the circular loaf. You can see it in all kinds of different things. I've made hamburger buns, bread bowls, rolls. I also use the same dough recipe for cinnamon rolls and for monkey bread. So it has a lot of versatility. It's just a yeast and egg bread dough. So there's a lot of variations, but it is a good dough to kind of learn yeast, learn what bread dough is supposed to be like. You don't have to knead it quite as excessively as some of the other recipes, so it's a good starter, I think. Now, you can use a sourdough starter for your yeast. This recipe does not have any of that. The thing about yeast is there isn't a perfect temperature to activate the yeast. You're just waking it up. Basically, a good rule of thumb is that it's similar to your skin. So if it burns you, it'll burn the yeast. So you do want it to be slightly warm. You don't want it to be hot to touch, but you do want it to be warm. All right, so all I'm basically looking for is for this to foam up. So I'm gonna let that sit and work while I get the rest of the recipe together. All right, so this uses egg. Okay, so I use olive oil. You don't have to. You can just use any oil that you have. All right, so basically, what you see here is it's starting to foam up. I'm gonna put a cup and an 1/8 in here, and we're already up above, we're about a cup and a 1/3. Basically, you just want to make sure your yeast is active. And if it foams, it's active. But again, that's one of those things like, if it doesn't foam in the cup, it's not gonna foam in the flour. This is a testament of how fresh your yeast is. So you just go ahead and add this in, and it will continue to work. Because we have sugar in this, and we're going to put it in a warm location, so it is going to continue to rise, and that's what this briefing is going to do. Okay, this is another recipe that I really, really like using weights for. So I'm going to put 530 grams in, I'm going to mix it, and then I'll come back and add the additional 100 grams. All right, so this is still too sticky. So I can hook this up to the machine and it's just gonna fling it everywhere. So it does get a little harder to mix. I just kind of push it down a little bit so that it's not right on top. So I guess I have my overhead. So I'm just going to hook this back up, and you don't want to over knead it because it is going to affect how tough it is. So I like to go fast for a short amount of time so that I can take it off and it incorporates it quickly. You can probably do it low and slow and it'll be fine. I just get impatient. And you can see that's why you don't need. That's all you need. So again, I obviously didn't incorporate that quite enough because I made snow. Well, it's not baking if I'm not messy. I mean, maybe there are other people who can bake without being messy. And see, really why I do this is so that I already have my surface floured. Okay, So if you don't want to bother with that, just crank that sucker up in a fling, and then you'll have a good disbursement of flour on your workstation. Okay, so now this is just slightly tacky. So we don't want sticky, we want tacky. So see how it's not coming off on my hand, but it is sticky. It's not dry. You don't want to use a lot of flour because this is the thing with this kind of stuff. Bread dough will accept however much flour you give it. So if I sit here and I work this dough, it will accept this flour. And the more I work it, the more flour it'll want. So you just have to be careful how long you play with it. So, I don't want to incorporate too much of this. So what I do is I mainly just, so when you start seeing it pull away like this, here, like that, you're gonna start getting too much flour on it when it starts layering out like that. Now if I just keep playing with this, it's gonna get sticky again. So I'm gonna stop because it's easy to keep playing with it. So as soon as it kind of incorporates into a ball, you're good. And then I use the same thing. I'm gonna wash this, and then I'm going to use warm water so this bowl is already warm, so that when we start rising it, this will kind of hold some heat for us. I've got this warm. So this dough, as it rises, is gonna get sticky. So I just put a little bit of olive oil in there. See, it's gonna, and it comes loose fine. It should be, like I said, see, it's kind of, but it's not sticky, like it's not coating my hands when I touch it. All right, so here we go. There's that. And then we just let it sit. So this is not a recipe to get really in a hurry about. So you can cover it with a towel, and I'm gonna throw this in there, and then we will check on it in just a little bit. So I'm gonna put it up in this. So it's going down. Alright, so we are gonna, now, with this dough, because we are braiding it and we're doing this design with it, you want it to be a little sticky. So it's not like biscuits where you're just gonna put a bunch of flour down on the surface. Now I am gonna just put a brushing, just so I can kind of move it around, but I want it to be sticky. Okay, so generally this dough ends up at right around 1100. I'm gonna split this into 6 pieces. This isn't a very sensitive dough. You don't want to just sit there and work and work and work, but you can handle it, and it's not gonna be a big deal. So just kind of chunk this off. What I do here is I work in stages. This dough will start to tear if you manipulate it. Like if I take this one piece and I take it all the way to the strand, it'll get tears in it, which will end up breaking as you bake. I get them like that. Then I go back to the first one and I start to get them into the shape. Now, because this is a yeast bread, it's gonna have these air pockets in it. And I kind of work those air pockets to the edges and then pop them. Now I've got them all. So first I got them into little balls. Then I got them all into these little things. These things. Then, so these still are just a little bit tacky, and I want that because here in just a second, I want it to stick and be tacky against the surface as I'm trying to roll these out. If I start to get any tears, you just need to slow down. You don't have to get these all finished at one time. Don't mind the these small infants playing with Tupperware. And I'm just gonna slowly start rolling these out further and further. Now I flour. Once I get my pieces the way I want it, I'm going to flour it. All right, so I don't know if I finished that, so I'm gonna make sure I finished it. I coat them with flour, not heavy, just light coating, so that the strands will stay separated. So you gather these ends. Just tuck that under. Tuck this under. And kind of adjust it because kind of the way it lays, it'll start getting that way. And there we go. So we're gonna let that rise again. I'm gonna get this in the oven pretty quick so I can eat my midnight time hack. We're just gonna do a quick little egg wash and we're gonna get this challah in there. Alright, so I put a little bit of almond extract and a little bit of water. Alright, so all we're gonna do is literally just brush this. You wanna brush it really lightly so you don't pop the yeast out or the air out of this. We're gonna wait for that bread to be done and should get a nice, good brown color. All right. Yes. All right. Now. There we go. That's pretty. All right, so here we go. Things that come from the oven are hot. Straight out.
So dessert, here we go.
I may not be able to make a lot of stuff pretty, but I got this now. And basically, a good rule of thumb. Nobody's cooperating today. Show my scale enough love. I should probably treat it better.
You know,
As fond as I am of it.
taking things
Off when you mix it. Don't mix your stuff on your scale. It's not good for it. This looks like a prop.
It does.